don't have notes, I will talk forever and you'll get bored. Something I tried writing when I was a teenager. I think writing was for me. I didn't. Hello lovelies, welcome. Happy Samhain or Halloween, whichever it is that you celebrate. I'm KJ. I'm an author of all things fantasy. I've been told my fantasy is cozy, but I like to say that it comes with a dash of darkness. So if that's something you're interested in, welcome. I'm pre-filming this because I have a dental surgery situation next week and I didn't want to get cold feet and then blame it, blaming not posting this when I wanted to post it on not feeling great. So I'm forcing myself to pre-film stuff. I really wanted this video to go out on the 31st of October. I celebrate Samhain and it just felt appropriate considering I write fantasy at the moment mainly centered around witches and it's the Celtic / witchy pagan new year. So here we are. Hello, nice to meet you. This video is going to be a bit of an introduction. I'm going to keep looking down because I have my laptop here with notes. If I don't have notes, I will talk forever and you'll get bored. So if I keep looking down and you see glare in my glasses, that's why. But yeah, since this is an intro, please comment down below. Tell me, what do you do? What kind of creative you are? What are you working on? What do you want to do? I mean, it's autumn, the best season of the year. Although I would argue I've been really enjoying spring for the past year or two. It's been great. But yeah, let me know what are you up to. I am a very nosy person. So for me, I think the point of this channel is just to connect with more authors and creatives. I started writing again last year. Well, actually it's been nearly 2 years now. It'll be 2 years in January, which is mad. And I have been filming some like little snippets and updates for myself over the past year. And I love videos like this. I watch them all the time. They're my constant companion. And I was like, you know what, why not? Let's put it out in the world. I've been doing all the things that scare me for the past. I started writing again because of that. Because I've always loved stories and I didn't think writing was for me. I didn't think I had good enough ideas and concepts and that my writing was just not worth pursuing. And then last year I got the idea for a book that is kind of inspired by something I tried writing when I was a teenager, and obviously I lacked the skills and the discipline and the motivation to pursue. So it's been really healing. I'm very glad that I gave myself the chance. I am gonna insert some clips from the past year, but I'll give you a short timeline from January 2024 when I started writing again until now, and then we'll talk a little bit more about where I want to be as well. Now, this is the part that I'm gonna be constantly looking at my notes because I have dates, okay? So, January 2024, I started doing the morning pages from the Artist's Way workbook. I was doing it to come out of artist block for my drawing. Like, I also do digital drawing, and I started with oil painting and then discovered digital drawing, and I was like, oh my god, I don't have to wait for the pen to dry, and magic. So I started doing the morning pages to get out of the creative block that I was in. and I was reading a lot, like a lot, during that time. And I was reading a book that I really, really, really didn't like. And through the morning pages, I started feeling like, if this has been published, I could, who's to say that I couldn't do it myself? And one day at like 2 a.m., I got the idea and then I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I started making notes. And then the next day, I was like, okay, let's start a Notion page and let's just brain dump. And I just started. By the 11th of February 2024, I had reached 30,000 words on that first draft. Now, it was complete garbage, but 30,000 words, it's a lot in a month. I reached 60,000 words and finished the first draft on the 4th of April. Insane. Absolutely insane. It felt like the biggest milestone ever. This whole writing journey so far has been really, really healing for me. It feels like, everyone talks about healing your inner child, but no one talks about healing your inner, like, teenager. For me, my teenager self went through a lot, and it's always felt like I was kind of disconnected and trying to ignore it and just move past it. But writing itself, not the story, but like writing itself has really helped me connect with my teenager self. And I think it should be 1, shocked, 2, very proud, and 3, a crying mess. So oh my god, I just did it. I did it. I finished the first draft. Oh my god. I am so happy right now. I look like shit, but I'm so happy right now. I'm totally gonna film me having a breakdown because I didn't think I would feel this way. So I've been working on this since January. It's the 4th of April 2024 right now, and I never in a million years would I have thought that I would finish the draft for a fantasy book. And I just finished the first draft of a fantasy book of a world that I'm creating from scratch. I just can't. Oh my god, I can't believe I just did that. Oh my god, now what? I don't think anyone's ever gonna read it, but the fact that I just did that and I'm gonna start draft 2 and edit it and continue to work on it is just mental. Absolutely mental. This to commemorate it because I need this to be, I need to remember this. Whenever I think that I can't do something, I'm gonna think of this moment. Then continued working on it. I got a physical book, like an actual book, printed out for draft 4. Is it draft 4? Yes. This is a copy of draft 4 of book 1 of Project Leaf. It looks so good. Which I then, like, went with red pen and continued to do it, to do edits and work on it. And I think that's the draft that I got my first round of beta reading. Yes, yeah. I had 2 people that I met randomly through writing communities read it and give me feedback on. and that was so daunting. It was the first time, for drafts, it's a lot of a lot of drafts for a newbie like me, and it felt monumental to share it with anyone. So I'm very glad that I did. Um, yeah, honestly, I have this really bad habit of when I feel really bad about my writing, I just send it places. Like, I was feeling very shitty about my writing, so I entered RefPit. I sent it, my query package, to an agent that I had no chances of getting a yes from, because she's so like dream agent, very high in the industry, she hadn't opened in, like, I don't know, 5 years or something. I don't really know, years. And I was like, you know what, yeah. So that's my bad habit, but it's helped push my imposter syndrome away a little bit, and just, whenever I feel that creeping in, I get impulsive. Because I'm smart, I decided to submit my short story to Britport Prize. Short story called No Hope Left for the War God. And its main character point of view is Etharius. Etharius? I always read it in the Spanish way. But yeah, imposter syndrome. Kicking its ass, because why not? Exposure therapy. Yes. You decide if that's a good thing or not. I don't know how I feel about it, and I'm not sure if I can change that, to be honest. I then finished the 6th, the 9th of June 2025, so not that long ago. 6th draft. I have entered the trenches, but we're moving on from that one. I'll talk about that later. That's a whole different. If you know, you know, the trenches are horrendous and an experience. But this project has taught me so much. Honestly, I think I did like 3 years worth of work in a year and a half, which it just, I was obsessed. It became my whole life. Every waking moment, I wanted to be writing, and it just makes me so happy, so happy to be doing it. And even though it took 6 drafts for me to be like, okay, this is something that I can query with, I learned so much in that process. Honestly, I would really recommend it for beginners. Just take your time. You know, the trenches are still gonna be there tomorrow, especially with current agent response timelines and how saturated the industry is. Like, just write what you want to write or what you want to read. That's a different another approach. It works because I'm currently in the trenches. I'm really the past few months, especially with some health stuff that have come up, I've just kind of lost the spark a little bit, and I'm hoping that sharing my writing journey and, connecting with more people will help me get that spark back. Yeah, I have it here. I said, like, you know 10 years is a very, very long time to not have written anything, but compared to when I tried to write it as a teenager, I just knew if I didn't try now, I would really regret it. And that's something that I feel like sharing my writing journey and going into the trenches as well. It's felt like if I don't do it now, I'm never gonna do it, and then I'm gonna be 80 regretting my life choices. So here I am. And if you are on the same boat, you're not alone. Everyone goes through this. Every creative has some level of imposter syndrome. Some people are just better at hiding it than others. But I'm hoping that this channel can be a little source of, community, inspiration, maybe, and, just keep each other accountable and help each other to keep showing up and pushing through. And I'm hoping that I can help you just for a tiny bit of time to escape and relax. And I hope you enjoy my chaos because I am very clumsy and I talk forever and I just don't shut up. um, but yeah, now that I've given you some context and some yapping about myself, uh, I, I think it's good to talk about where I want to be and what my plans are a little bit more. I want to get an agent and I want to be traditionally published. I actually thought that I was going to go the self-publish route when I first started writing, just because I like having the creative control and whatnot. But it's a couple of things, okay? It's a couple of things. Let's get into that real quickly, shall we? But first, I need some fuel for my soul. So one of the reasons that I want to get traditionally published is one, it's very expensive to self-publish in the way that I would want to self-publish. And, just marketing wise, it's just out of my reach at the minute. I never say never, but the other reason is a bit more vulnerable, and I'm not sure if I should talk about it, but I'm gonna talk about it. I want to start this channel from an honest place, and this is a very human trait, emotion, whatever, is to prove to my younger self that we can do it. And that sounds really silly, but for my younger self, published books where, they're curated. They, in a sense, they're like good enough to be invested on by someone else other than myself. And I want to try that. I want to see if my writing is good enough to the point that someone else in the industry, someone that I admire and respect, and, publishing houses have a lot of creative, successful people involved behind the scenes, and agents are working their asses off. So some part of me just craves the industry validation, and I think that's totally valid. Like, it's not just I want to share my stories, it's I want my stories to be good enough to be able to share them. And that's why I'm going the traditional route. I'm gonna keep changing how I say that. I'm sorry. English is my second language. Even though my dad's Scottish, we never spoke English in my house. Like, so it was just Spanish, and it just I'm a mess. That's one of the reasons I wanna go the traditional publishing route. It is very daunting, but I think I've grown so much in this short amount of time. Even in, I've only been in the trenches for, spoiler alert, for, I have a different video about this, but spoiler alert, it's been like a month or something. So it hasn't been long. And I feel like I've already grown a lot. Like, a year ago, I didn't think I would be selling? I wish. Sending my book to anyone to read, and I've already sent it to so many people. I sent one of my friends a first draft the other day. Like, that's unthinkable a year ago. And I've already grown so much, and I want to see what the trenches and the journey of sharing and being vulnerable here on the internet will, I want to see who I become after that. Even if it's just, you know, writing queries and making your book sound sellable and appealing to people is a whole different skill. And I want to curate that skill because I'm going to need it. And it's going to help me. So even if I don't get an agent with this book, or I don't ever get an agent, I don't think I will regret trying to go the traditional way. And I hope you're, here for the long ride, because I think it's gonna take a very long time. But yeah, I hope it's fun. I want to do a little shout out to certain people that have inspired me to try sharing my writing journey in this way. I don't know what word I'm looking for, but spotlight. I'm gonna give the spotlight to my friends Sila, Raquel, and Brie, because they are killing it. They are the best. They are so sweet, and the three of them have YouTube channels, which I'll be linking down below, and I need you to go and watch them because I love them. They are some of the most incredibly supportive and lovely people I have met in this community, and I am so glad that our paths crossed. And I don't say it often, and I should, but I'm doing it now. So there's also some other author tubes that have really inspired me, like Alisa and the books. Oh shit, okay, I'm terrible with names, and I'm sure you already know all these names, but whatever. Alisa and the books, Meredith E. Phillips, oh my god, Christiane Jones. I actually cried when she announced. I cried when she announced she had gotten a literary agent, and I cried when she announced her publishing deal. I have been watching Christy. Jesus Christ, I'm gonna get cancelled. I've been watching her videos way before I even thought I would ever be pursuing writing, and her videos helped me through my university degree, which I did through the pandemic. And yeah, it's just lovely. I also love and Amelia is writing. She is so cute. And yes, there we go, honorary mentions. I'll leave it here for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you're working on. Where are you in your journey? What type of creative? If you're not a writer, that's totally fine. Who cares? Like, I'm here for all creative endeavors. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.